In a small village at the foot of a mountain, people worked hard every day. They farmed, took care of their land, and provided for their families. But there was one young man who did nothing. While others worked under the sun, he spent his days lying under a tree, lost in daydreams. He had no goals, no plans, and no worries because his parents provided for him. But they were getting old, and a heavy worrying filled their hearts. What would happen to him when they were no longer around? Hoping to change his ways, they sought help from an old monk in the village. The monk observed the young man for days, watching as he wasted his time. One afternoon, the monk walked up to him and asked, "Why do you spend your days like this?" The young man sighed, "Working is too hard. I don't want to struggle. It's easier to do nothing." The monk smiled, "Oh, but there is a way to become rich without working for the rest of your life." The young man sat up, suddenly interested. "Really? Tell me." The monk leaned in and said, "On the other side of the mountain, there is a cave filled with treasure. If you can reach it, you'll never have to worry about anything again." Hearing this, something changed inside the young man. For the first time, he had a reason to move. Without wasting time, he set off on his journey. The mountain was steep, the path unforgiving. He slipped, stumbled, scraped his hands and knees, but he kept going. Hour after hour, he pushed through the pain. Finally, exhausted and covered in bruises, he reached the top. And there, as he looked out at the breathtaking view, he felt something he had never felt before. A deep sense of accomplishment. But his journey wasn't over. The way down was even harder. His legs ached, his breath was heavy, and fear gripped him with every shaky step. Yet, he didn't stop. After a long struggle, he reached the bottom and stood before the cave. With excitement, he ran inside. But what he saw left him frozen in disbelief. The cave was empty. His heart sank. He searched every corner, but there was nothing. No treasure, no riches. Anger took over. That monk tricked me. But as frustration filled his mind, another thought struck him. He couldn't stay here. There was no food, no water. If he didn't move, he would starve. And so, he did the only thing he could. He climbed the mountain again, this time, not for treasure, not for wealth, but simply to survive. His body screamed for rest, but he had no choice. Step by step, he fought against the pain. After an exhausting climb, he finally returned to the village. Without a moment's delay, he stormed up to the monk. "You lied to me. There was no treasure." The monk chuckled. "Ah, but my friend, you have already found the treasure." The young man frowned. "What treasure?" The monk's eyes gleamed with wisdom. "Before, you had no purpose. You had no reason to push yourself, so you spent your days doing nothing. But when you believed in the treasure, you found the strength to climb a mountain. When you realized there was nothing, your will to survive made you climb it again. You weren't weak, you just never had a goal." The young man fell silent. When you have ambition, you will push beyond your limits. You will do things you once thought impossible. But without it, life feels empty, and you stay stuck. The real treasure was never in the cave, it was inside you all along. If you use it well, you can achieve anything. For the first time, the young man understood. He had spent so many years thinking he was incapable when, in reality, he had just never tried. And from that day on, he was no longer the lazy boy under the tree. Time is precious, don't waste it. Find your purpose, and let it push you forward. Hope this story helps you find the motivation to achieve your dreams. Good luck. See you next time.